Okay. Hi guys, welcome to Maxesq. Thank you for joining me for this somewhat amateur movie review. Nonetheless, a movie review all the same. Now, I finally got round to watching after this being on the shelves for 30 odd, nearly 40 years in every single video shop I remember growing up as a kid, is Exterminators of the Year 3000. Now, this is sort of hot on the heels of the Mad Max movies, and I never had any idea what this would be like. Now, I'd seen New Barbarians, and New Barbarians to me, I seen that when it was back in early 80s, before secondary school, so I was probably 11 or something. And I thought it was like a load of crap. But I watched it over like you did back then. You'd watch them all weekend, wouldn't you? You'd watch these movies all weekend. And this probably would have been no exception. That said, it was very watchable. It's ludicrous. But I'm more forgiving now, because even though I would have watched it back in the day, I would have just criticised it and just said, he thinks it's this, he thinks it's that. And I think what we have to understand is with some of these movies that I think these were made. I mean, Medusa alone I think it's some kind of Italian subsidiary of like CBS Fox or a big American label. So you probably had, in this instance, the director is, I've got the guy's name, Giuliano Canameo. I hope I've got that right. I don't want to sound like I'm ignorant, but he was from a sort of spaghetti western background, and it's almost like a Confessions of a Window Cleaner type movies, like cheeky, sexy movies, sort of like a Benny Hill Carry On type scale, your lemon popsicles, that sort of innuendo, women running around with now that next to nothing on underwear. So I think he was from that background. The spaghetti western one really rings true when you watch this film, because basically this is a sort of spaghetti western, basically futured up. It's almost like the special effects are, and the costume is secondary to the story. I don't think it mattered as much as it would in say England and America back in the 80s, where it would have been uber critical. Like, some of the films that were coming out at the time, everything had to be a blockbuster. But I think for the European market, as long as it told a story and it was similar to the big blockbusters, plus the language barrier must have been a bit of a pain in the arse for European cinema to be dubbing all the time. It's probably nice for it's a European cinema or Italian cinema to get films where nothing had to be translated. That said, I'm not sure whether they are if it's dubbed, or I think some of it's dubbed and some of it's like English, so it's quite hard to tell. I think there might be the kid in it, Tommy. I think he might be American. I don't know. It's quite hard to tell. Didn't help it being on VHS this old. As I'll show you some snippets. The quality ain't the best. So basically, it's a bunch of people living in a cave after. When I say a cave, it's almost like living in the Hoth station in Empire Strikes Back. It's a carved out, but almost not luxury, but a livable standard of living, and not literally living in caves. But basically, these people have fled into there after nuclear war, and they burnt a hole in the ozone. They keep dropping the ozone conversation in there quite a lot, which quite surprised me, because I didn't hear about the ozone layer till, I'm sure it's like 90s or something like that. But yeah, back then the ozone was on its way out, and basically they need to, there's no water basically, so they have to try and get to a place where there's water because they're all quite eco-friendly, they're growing plants and vegetables, and they need to get away from where they are because the exterminators, I think, are closing in on them, and the crew, the exterminators are, you know, the exterminators of the year 3000. It must be those guys. So endless missions of the flock of these people, the cave dwellers, have gone out trying to find water and never returned. Thus being Tommy, the young boy in it, his dad is one of these guys, and he's tormented and accused of being a traitor because he never came back. But it's tough out there, and he probably got bumped off by one of the exterminators at some point. So basically, they want to flee. I don't want to tell you too much, in case you want to watch it. But basically, it then turns into Mad Max 2, where they have to go across this wasteland as a sort of tribe to get to a caravan of people to get to the promised land, which in this instance, in Mad Max, it's the promised land. In this instance, it's a well with water. So I know I couldn't believe it myself. It might be a bit of a sort of, I don't know, a translation issue or something, but it just sounds so basic when you see it in the. So he's like Toe Cutter.
Once more into the breach, you mother grabbers!
Mother grabbers? What's a mother grabber? The other guy's Wes. What's his name? Oh God, what's his name? Wes. He was in Predator Commando. No speed whatsoever.
Cover our rear. Let's try going ahead.
In the film. So that's when all hell sort of breaks loose. But basically, there's a Mad Max character in it, the Robert Lanucci, who is Alien. The boy is Tommy, and his mum is Linda. And there's also a female interest called Trash. Yep, that's right. Trash. And
Trash.
her name's Trash.
That's so you don't get the wrong idea.
I should have let the snake bite you.
And it's you're sort of thrown into the action straight away. If you can call it action, it's like watching, Fall Guy meets I don't know, a really poor version of Mad Max, basically. So, without ruining the plot, it's sort of strung together by the main guy, Alien, Robert Lanucci, who he looks really familiar. He's probably been in a catalogue of Medusa home video films and Italian and Spanish cinema. But yeah, he's your sort of Mad Max character. The female interest, he sort of comes into a bit of a weird time in the film. But the main sort of team. Oh, there's another guy as well who sort of plays what's the guy called Papagella in Mad Max 2. He's called Papillon. So yeah, he comes into it at some point. He's like a bit of a poor man's Ernest Borgnine. It's a bit it's slapdash, but it works. It works. But as for the main characters through most of the film is Alien, Robert Lanucci, the main character, and the boy Tommy. You don't see much of his mum Linda. But yeah, they're on this mission to find this well. As it goes, yeah, the whole film just felt like a spaghetti western. So it's quite kind of innocent. The main bad guy in it is a guy called Crazy Bull, who's got this obsession of calling people mother grabbers. It might be something to do like the censorship on the film, but it's dubbed anyway.
How now to you, Crazy Bull?
What's this walking shit? You stole my car from me. Where is it, alien?
Well, you never believe this, but someone stole it from me.
The only thing I really cared about in this entire world was my exterminator. The only thing.
I can believe that. It's a fantastic machine.
Is that all she was to you?
Come on, you mother grabbers! And I thought it was quite charming actually, because there's limited swearing in the film. Where I think New Barbarians, I don't think there's much swearing. That was like really weird bits in New Barbarians, but this was, it could have been. He's basically, I say he's playing the part of Mad Max, but he's actually playing the part of Clint Eastwood, really, I suppose. But it's what you'd expect from this type of film at the time, and it's kind of nostalgic to watch something like that. It's kind of innocent in a way as well, and it was kind of fun. The only problem I had was the quality of the video. And then to top it all right at the effing end, as the titles were coming down, and it was when the titles were coming down, some mother grabber had decided to record a geography programme over the fucking titles. So I wondered why I got it for a £5, and it was probably for that reason only. But the film is untainted, and you know what? It was a good bit of fun. So do you want me to give it a score? I'd give it a... It's not fair to give it a bad rating, because it is what it is. It's the genre it is, and it's from a time. So it's quite a nostalgic trip down memory lane to actually see this after it being on shop shelves as I was a kid for so many years. And who knew I'd actually watch it at 49, going on 50. It took that long. Life's strange. So guys, I hope that was an okay review. I feel good about it. What do you think? So guys, thanks for joining me at Mike's Shed. I think I might try one of these reviews again. Let me think of a film. Guys, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you later.
Tommy,
Hi there, partner.
how's the arm?
Yeah? Just fine, look.
Come on now. Not that arm, the other arm. The biomechanical one.
Oh, look. I haven't quite figured out how to work.